Today we will discuss the chapter 10, the simple linear regression and the correlation. On this chapter, we will learn contrast spherical models using the simple linear regression. Estimate the parameters in a linear regression model using the least squares approach. Test hypothesis on simple linear regression. Predict the future observation using the regression model. Determine the adequacy of the regression model using residual analysis and coefficient determination. And lastly, apply the correlation mode. Now, uunahin po natin yung contrast empirical model using the simple linear regression. Regression analysis is the collection of statistical tools that are used to model and explore relationship between the variables that are of non-deterministic relationship. It is the most widely used statistical tool because this type of problems occur so frequently in the many fields of engineering and science. In this chapter, only one independent variable, x, will be the considered and the relationship with the response y is assumed to be a linear. This may be seen to be a simple scenario, but many practical problems fall into the assumption. To build a model to predict yield at a given temperature, regression analysis can be used. It can also be used for process optimization or for process control purposes. So, meaning the linear regression is statistic tools can be used to any purposes. And also, linear regression is not for only the engineering and science analysis because um, based on my understanding, linear regression is can be also used for business. So imagine that you have a business that you wanted to know if your business are increasing or decreasing the income. So I will present the Google Sheet to see if how to see if your income is increasing or decreasing based on scatter. So we have already dito, meron na tayo ditong um, table kung saan may month na tayo sa isang taon kasi natin meron tayong 12 months. So may income din tayo na nakalagay dito, yung value natin. So gagawin na lang natin ay lalagyan natin yung kung ano yung kanyang pang-scatter, kung anong buwan yung tumataas at bumababa yung ating kita. So ang gagawin lang natin ay gagawa lang tayo ng scatter graph po para makita pa natin yung talagang ano yung buwan na talagang bumababa yung income. So papalitan lang na po natin yung graph natin, gagawin lang natin ng scatter. So mapapansin po natin dito yung bawat dot. So ang unang dot po natin ay yung unang month po natin. So makikita natin dito yung first month natin, tapos may 100 tayong income. So, at pinakaunang dot po natin ay yung po yung mismong nagiging kita sa isang buwan. So, pangalawa natin ay naging 500 dalawang buwan. Tapos, pataas na pataas, pero may mga buwan po talaga na mapapansin ninyo na bumababa. So, ibig sabihin, sa bawat buwan ay may tumataas yung kita, may bumababa din na kita. So, ganun lang po kasimple yung pag-explain ng part ng linear regression. Ngayon, papakita ko naman sa inyo kung paano gamitin naman ang linear regression sa engineering, and science. So, based on the example na nakikita ninyo sa screen ninyo, meron po tayong cooling time hardness. So, makikita natin dito sa pinakauna natin, sa cooling time, meron tayong 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35, 40, 45, 50. Sa hardness naman natin, meron tayong 118, 122, 126, 131, 135, 138, 141, 144, 147, and 150. So, mapapansin din natin dito sa graph natin, may guhit na siya, yung mismong line natin na nagbabase kung tumataas o bumababa yung value ng X and Y. So, makikita natin dito sa ating scatter plot na ang ating value ng y-axis is yung cooling time. And for the hardness naman po, sa po yung naging x-axis po natin. So, sa bawat ano natin po, sa observation number 1 po natin, yung pinakaunang dot po natin, ayun po yung mismong pagbabasihan natin kung saan sa dito kung para makakita kaagad natin yung value niya. So, gano'n lang kadali na magsuri sa analysis ng linear regression. Katulad din po dito sa sa electrical naman, sa electricity, meron tayong voltage and current. So, meron tayong 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 16, 18, 20. So, yung naging ating y-axis po natin is yung current po natin. Tapos yung x-axis naman po natin ay yung voltage. Tapos yung mapapansin po ninyo, sa taas po natin sa graph po natin, makikita po natin yung current A equal to value. Kasi that is a y equation po natin. Kaya po makikita po natin yung ganitong equation. And lastly, for example number 3 po natin, may value din tayong load and deflection. May 5, 10, 15, 20 at hanggang 50 po siya. Tapos ganun din po sa kabila, may value po din siya na ganito. Tapos ipa-plot lang ulit natin like what I did earlier na graph sa Google Sheet upang makita yung kung tumataas at bumababa yung value ng ating Y. So, ayun po napakahalaga nun kung malalaman natin kung tumataas at bumababa yung value nating sa Y axis po natin. Ayun yung purpose po ng simpleng linear regression po natin. Ito po kasi ay kadalasan na ginagamit po natin noon. Some of you talaga na familiar na sa mga ganito dahil possible na na-encounter na ninyo to sa previous school ninyo or sa part-time job ninyo. So, that's it po. Then, for the next one po ay si Russell po mag-explain on this part po.
So now for the estimating the parameters in a linear regression model using the least squares approach. So this mathematical method analysis is used to determine the line of the best fit for a set of data, providing a visual demonstration of the relationship between the data points. A simple linear regression relates one dependent variable y and one independent variable x through a straight line equation, which is y is equal to a plus bx plus the error term, where a is the intercept, b is the slope or the regression coefficients, and the error term is the random error term. Now, for the formulas to be used in estimating the linear regression models using the least square approach, the least square estimates of the intercept and slope of all the line regressions model R SSXX is equal to the summation of the variable of x squared minus the variable of x being squared over n. And for the value of SSXY, it is equal to the summation of the variables of x times y minus the variables of x multiplied the variables of y over n. Then the mean of y is equal to the summation of the variables of y over n, and the mean of x is equal to the summation of variables of x over n. Then the slope, it is equal to the SSXY over SSXX, which can we get by using this formula. The B is the slope and A is the intercept, and it is equal to the mean of y, which is this one, subtracted by the slope, and the mean of x, which is this one. Then after you get all those values, you'll get the best fit or estimated regression line is therefore y is equal to a plus bx. Now, to further clear or to further understand what is the linear regression model using the least square approach, I will give an example. This table was presented by Mr. Mendoza earlier. It is the cooling time and its hardness. The first column, which is the observation number, which it is the n here, the greatest value of your observation number will become the number of n, and your cooling time is the x variables, which is here, and the hardness is your y variables. Now, getting the values that needed to be substituted here, n is again the greatest number of your observation number, which is 10. The summation of variables of x, which is here, the cooling time, 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20, and so on and so forth until 50, and it will equate to 275. The mean of x, again, it is equal to the variables of x over n, which will, if you use a solution, it will become the summation of variables of x, which is 275 over n, which is 10. So 275 over 10 is equal to 27.5, which will be your mean of x. Then the summation of variables of y, this part, you'll add all these numbers and you'll get the summation of the variables of y, which is equal to 1352. Then the mean of y, again, this formula, you'll use this formula, the summation of variables of y over n. So this one, the 1352 over n, which is 10, it will equal to 135.2. Then the summation of variables of x being squared, or the squared of the variables of x, for example, is 5 raised to 2, 25, 10 raised to 2, 100. Then you'll square all these values, and after you square all that values, you'll add them all together, and that will equate to 9625. And it will have then the summation of the variables of y squared, it has the same process as this one, and it will equate to 183,840, and the summation of the variables of x multiplied by the variables of y, you'll multiply the cooling time and the hardness, then the answer of those two, you'll add them here together. You'll multiply this to all of this multiplied by this multiplied by that, and the answers to all of that, you'll add them all together, and it will result to 38,645. No. So to further explain the step-by-step process for getting the estimated regression line, you'll need first to solve the SSXX by using the variables of x. Again, it is equal to the summation of x being squared, the variables of x being squared, subtracted by the variables of x being squared over n. And as you can see here, the value of our summation of variables of x squared is 9,625, and that's here. And the value of the summation of variables of x is 275, which is here, being squared, and n, which is n is 10. Substitute all those values, and it will give you the SSXX value, which is equal to 2062.5. Then SSXY, by using the variables of x and y, the summation of it is equal to the summation of variables of x multiplied by the variables of y, and that value is 38,645 here, which is here, subtracted by the variables of x, again multiplied by the variables of y, variable of x, which is this one, 275, and variables of y, summation of variables of y is 1352, which is this one, over n, which is 10, and it will equal to 1465. Then getting this slope, which is b, it is equal to the value of your SSXY over SSXX, and it will equate on this is the values of those two. Using the values of these two, it will give you the slope, which is this one, and it will equal to 0.7103. And after getting the slope, you can now get your intercept, which is a is equal to mean of y subtracted by slope, multiplied by the mean of x, and substituting all that values will give you 135.2 minus 0.7103 multiplied by 27.5. Again, to get the mean, you'll need the summation of the variables of y over n, and to get the mean of x, you'll need the summation of variables of x over n, which is this 2 is the mean of those variables. And computing that, it will give you 115 points, 0.66675. And now subtracting it to the equation of your best fit regression line, y is equal to 115, y is equal to the intercept, and add plus the slope, and it will give you 115.6675 plus 0.7103x. And the error term or the error of the sum of squares, it is denoted by SSE, and the formula for it is SSY. Formula to get the SSY is equal to the summation of the variable of y being squared minus the summation of y being squared over n. And substituting all the formulas, this is the value of the variables of y squared, 1883,840. Again here, and we'll substitute the value of the summation of the variables of y, which is 1352 over n, which is 10, and your SSYY is equal to 1049.6. Substituting it to the formula will give you 1049.6 subtracted by your SSXY, which is this one, 1465 being squared over the value of your SSXX, which is this one, 2062.5. It will give you a value of your SSE is equal to 9.006. To get the final error sum of your squares, it is equal to the SSE over n minus 2. Substituting that values, SSE is equal to this and n is equal to 10 minus 2, give you 1.1258, and this was all the values that we got using the formulas I presented earlier. For the example number 2, it is also the one that Mr. Mendoza presented earlier. The voltage and current correlation are our course in this example, since it has a voltage and current. Again, the observation number is the value of Rn, the greatest observation number, and same process, the summation of the variables of x, min of x, summation of variables of y, which is the current, the variables of x, which is the voltage, is then same process as the example number 1. This has also the same process, but as you can see, I already did the SSYY here, so that we will just substitute it in getting the error sum of our squares. The SSXX is equal to 313.6, the SSXY 32.348, the SSYY is equal to 3.70119, and after getting the SSXX and SSXY, you can now get the slope, which is 32. These values, you'll multiply them both with each other, and that will result into 0.10315055102. Then after getting your slope, you can now get your intercept, and since you have the values of your mean, or mean of x and y, you'll just substitute it to the equation, and that will give you negative 5.025510204 times 10 raised to negative 3. Now, you can now get your equation for the line regression, which is equal to negative 5.0255 times 10 raised to negative 3 plus 0.1032x. And again, the error sum of squares, it is just basically the random error term of your equation. That will equal to 0.0456. Yeah. Then next, number 3. This was also again the table that was presented by Mr. Mendoza earlier, which is the load, the kilonewton, and the deflection, which is in millimeter. Now, this one again is the observation number, which is your n, and load is the variable of x, and your y is and your deflection is the variable of y. Again, you get the needed values for you to get the best fit, or the regression line that you need to substitute in the equation. Again, doing all the process will result into these values, and solving the needed values using those formulas I presented earlier will give you it, it, it follows the same process as example number 1, since I followed the process on our module, and that's how I get this result or this process. That's all for my part. I will let Mr. Cabral present his part regarding the tests on hypothesis on simple linear regression. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'll be showing the result of 3 simple linear regression analysis. The goal of this study is to determine whether one variable can significantly predict another. In other words, we want to see if changes in one factor like study hours, advertising spending, or temperature can explain changes in outcomes such as exam scores, sales, or electricity usage. Regression analysis help us understand the relationship between variables by testing hypotheses. We can find out if these relationships are statistically significant, meaning they're not just due to chance. In this study, I performed hypothesis testing on the 3 different cases to check if the slope of each regression line is significantly different from zero. Now let's look at each example one by one, starting with how study hours affect exam scores. For our first example, I analyzed how the number of study hours affect a student exam score. The regression, the regression equation is y is equal 51.529 plus 4.627x. This means that if a study doesn't study at all, a student doesn't study at all, their predicted exam score is about 51.5. For every additional hour of studying, the score increases by around 4.63 points. Looking at the result, the t-value is 27.063 and the p-value is almost zero. Since the p-value is much less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there are significant positive relationship between study hour and exam score. In simple terms, studying more really helps improve performance. Next slide po. Example number 2, advertising spending and sales. In the second example, we studied how advertising expenses affect total sales. The regression equation is y is equal to 13.2 0.73 plus 4.075x. This tells us this tells us that for every additional $1,000 spent on advertising, sales increased by about $4,075. The the effect is statistically significant. We reject the null hypothesis and predict sales. The more the company invests in advertising, the higher the sale they are likely to achieve. Next slide po. For example number 2, temperature electricity usage. For the example, examine the relationship between temperature and electricity usage. The regression equation is y is equal to 0.825 plus 1.015x. This means that when the temperature increases by 1 degree Celsius, electricity usage rises by about 1.02 kWh. Again, Again, the p-value is extremely small, so we reject the null hypothesis. Chart temperature significantly affects electricity usage. As it gets hotter, people use more electricity like for cooling system and appliances. And to summarize all the three examples show statistically significant relationship. The slope of the regression lines are not equal to zero, which means each independent variable, study hours, advertising spending, and temperature meaningfully affect the dependent variable. Overall, our result confirms that linear regression and hypothesis testing can effectively reveal real-world relationship between variables. Proceed to the next presenter, which is Gerard Josh Kimbao.
Thank you. So for the predict future observation using the regression model. So to predict a future observation using regression with beta 1 and beta 2, you use the estimated regression equation which models the relationship between a independent variable and its independent variable. So let's proceed for the first example. Oh, wait a second. So we're trying to guess how much a house cost based on how it is. So here in our table, the 1,000 square foot cost $200,000. For the next one is 1,500 square foot. So to the cost of this is 250,000. Next one is 2,000 square foot. That costs 300,000. And the last one is 2,500. So, for example, wala pa siya dun sa table, yung 350. So, nag-guess mo siya na 350. So, you have created a model in your mind or in your head. So, we have noticed something that a small house costs less and big houses cost more. So, we assume a linear relationship is or formula price is equals to beta 0 plus beta 1 times size. The estimated coefficient is the beta 1 is equals to 0.1, intercept is beta 0 is equals to 100. So the starting price is 100,000 even if the house is super tiny. Price per square foot is 100 for every square foot. Let's say someone wants to buy a house that's 300 square foot or feet big. let's plug in our ano, 'di ba, 300 square foot. Yan. So, as you can see here, the model becomes price is equals to 100 plus 0.1 times 300. So, 0.1 times 300 equals to 300 plus yung 100, so 400. So, the predicted price is equals to 400,000. So, we guess the house will cost 400,000. Next slide, please. So, for the next example, imagine you are trying to predict how well a student will do on a test. You notice something that students who study more usually get better scores. Students who sleep well also do better. So we have make a formula for this example. Uh, yan. So we have estimated a linear relationship. Score is equals to beta 0 plus beta 1 times study plus beta 2 times sleep. So the starting score is 40, like a base score everyone gets. Each hour of studying adds 4 points. Each hour of sleep adds 2 points. So a student studied for 7 hours and slept for 6 hours. Yeah. So the model becomes score equals to 40 plus 4 times study plus 2 times sleep. So i-plug in natin yung 7 hours and 7 hours of study and 6 hours of sleep. So 4 plus 4 times 7 plus 2 times 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. 4 times 7 is 28. Yeah, 40 plus 28 plus 12 equals to 80. So we have predicted the exam score is equals to 80. So we have predicted the student will score 80 points on the test. Next slide, please. So for the last example, we are trying to guess how fast something is going after 5 seconds. We already know how fast it was going at earlier times like 0 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and 4 seconds. So we have built a formula, or we assume a linear relationship. Speed equals to beta 0 plus beta 2 times t plus beta 2 times t squared. So the starting speed is 0 and the speed boost per second is equals to 5. Extra boost from time square is equals to 2.5. So let's plug all that in our formula. So 0 plus 5t plus 2.5t raised to the 2. Ayan. 5 times 5 plus 2.5. So 2.5 times 25 is equals to 62.5. Tama ba? Oo nga. Kasi yung 5 kanina in square root, so naging 25 siya. So 25, 2.5 times 25 is equals 62.5. Yung 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 62.5 is equals to 87.8. So we have predicted a speed is equals to 87.5 kilometer per hour. So we guess the speed is 87.5 kilometer per hour at 5 seconds. So for the next present, I would like to call Raven to present the next slide. Thank you.
Okay. The adequacy of regression model using residual analysis and coefficient determination. I prepare 3 examples in this topic. So, check regression adequacy with residual analysis and coefficient determination. Suppose we measure one predictor, x, and response of y. As you can see, we have a simple chart here to observe what we have to solve. Next slide. Okay. As you can see, to get the mean, pagpa-plus-plusin mo lahat ng number na meron ka, then i-divide mo kung ilan yung number na meron ka. Example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and plus 6 is equal to 21. Then, you have 6 numbers, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, 21 over 6 is magtototal siya ng 3.5. Pero sa example natin, meron tayong 45, 52, 58, 68, and 79. Then, pagka-plus-plusin mo lang yan, 45 plus 52 plus 58 plus 68 plus 79 is equal to 302. Then, over mo sa 5, kasi 5 yung numbers, then mag-equal siya ng 60.4. Then, to get the total sum of square about variability of y or SSRS is equal, kailangan mong i-square yung bawat term as you can see in our example. Na meron tayong 5 squared plus 2 squared plus negative 2 squared plus negative 2 squared ulit plus negative 1 squared na mag-equal siya ng 38. Then, to get the SS dot, kailangan i-minus, to get the SS dot, kailangan mo i-minus naman yung bawat term sa mean of y. Like, yung 45 minus 60.4, yung nakuha natin kanina na mean, then squared plus 52 minus 60.4 squared, ulit-ulit lang siya. Then 54 minus 60.4 squared plus 68 minus 60.4 squared plus 79 minus 60.4 squared na magtototal siya ng 676.8. Then, to get the r squared, 1 minus SSRS na meron tayong total of 38, then over sa SS dot na meron tayong equal na 676.8. So, makakakuha po tayo ng total of 0.944. Next slide. So as you can see, para lang yung gagawin natin sa pagkuha ng mean, sa pagkuha ng SSRS, and sa pagkuha ng SS dot. Ganun lang uli. Pagka-plus-plusin mo lang uli sa mean. Then i-over mo. Then sa pagkuha ng SS dot, i-squared mo lang uli yung bawat term. Then ma-minus mo siya sa mean. Sa SSRS naman, i-squared mo lang yung bawat term talaga. Like, negative 1 squared plus 1 squared plus 3 squared plus 2 squared plus 2 squared. So, makakakuha tayo ng equal na 0.9665 or 97%. Next slide. So, ganun lang uli. Ganun lang siya kasimple. Ang kukunin mo lang dyan yung mean, SS dot, then SSRS. Then, yun lang gagawin. Yun lang yung process niya. So, next presenter, John Lee Kyle Ortega. Thank you.
So next po.
So applying the correlation model, this is the last. So what is correlation? Correlation measures the strength of such relationships between two variables by means of a single number called a correlation coefficient. This correlation coefficient measures how closely the points in a scatter diagram are spread around the line. The result is shown as a single number called the correlation coefficient. The closer the points are to a straight line, the stronger the correlation between the two variables. The result is shown as a single number. Next na po, next na. Next po, next po. So, sample correlation and regression slope. It estimates population correlation or raw from sample data. The formula for getting the sample correlation is R is equals to B sub 1 root of SXX over SYY, or it is equals to SX sub Y over root of S sub XX times S sub YY. So for calculating the SXX, SYY, and X sub X SXY, I will not further explain it since it was discussed earlier by Russell. Next, I will proceed to the example. Next po. Pabalik nga po sa example 1. Example 1 po. Wait lang, nawawala na. So for the example 1, as you can see, this shows a positive correlation. The scenario is study hours, which is the X, and for the Y is equals the test scores. So you can see there is a table, which shows the X as the hours, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And for the Y is 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. This shows a perfect positive correlation. So for getting the SXX, SYY, and SXY, it was explained earlier by Russell, so I would not explain it. So the regression slope, it was also explained by Russell earlier. So in this, the slope is 5, means in every extra hour of study, it raises the score by 5 points. So in this, as the number of study increases, the test score also increases. The sample correlation coefficient here is R is equals to 1, which means the relationship is perfectly direct, a straight upward line on the graph. Next po, sample 2. In this, it shows a negative correlation, which is daily junk food intake, which is the X, and fitness score is the Y. So same solution lang din po nung kanina. In this naman, this shows a perfect negative correlation. As the junk food intake increases, the fitness score decreases. In this, the slope B is equals to negative 10, which indicates that in every extra unit of junk food, It lowers the fitness score by -10. The correlation coefficient is R is equals to -1. Means the relationship is perfectly opposite and a straight downward line on the graph. Next po, example number 3. So for example number 3 po, this shows naman a no correlation. Same solution lang din as kanina and dito naman nagpapakita ng no correlation nga. Since there's no consistent relationship between sa shoe size and sa exam score. The correlation coefficient R is equals to 0.097, means almost zero. So the two variables don't affect each other at all in a scatter plot. This would look like a random points with no pattern since the regression slope is also about zero since it equals to 0.52. That's all lang po for my presentation.
Now that's all for our group, which is the chapter 10, the simple linear regression and correlation. Thank you.